It's great. This is giving me motivation to still work hard and better in my job. But I have to say, to be in my shoes is not easy. But I'm not complaining. I just want to say that I'm feel happy. All this happened because of reason. The reason is I'm unbelievable inside the pitch. This is why the people have so much interest on me.
Are you the best footballer in the world right now?
I think so, yes. In my mind, I'm always the best. I don't care what the people thinking, what they say. In my mind, not just this year, but always, I'm always the best.
Few athletes have ever experienced the scrutiny that Cristiano Ronaldo faces daily. He's broken records, set impossible standards, and become a global icon. But before the glory came a young player who struggled with the same doubts and insecurities as everyone else. Behind closed doors, even the greatest players face moments of crushing self-doubt, and sometimes those moments happen in front of their entire team. This is the story of how two legendary managers reduced football's most decorated athlete to tears. These aren't stories of failure, but defining moments that shaped the man Ronaldo would become. Manchester United, and a manager who would not compromise. When Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United from Sporting Lisbon in 2003, he was just 18 years old. He wore the number 7, the same number worn by legendary players before him. Ferguson had signed him after witnessing an impressive friendly performance, seeing raw talent that could be developed into something extraordinary. But confidence at that age often manifests as trying too hard. During a pre-season tour of Portugal early in his Manchester career, Ronaldo had the chance to play against his old club, Benfica. It was his moment to prove something. It was his chance to show that he had made the right decision leaving Portugal behind. The significance of this match cannot be overstated. Playing back home, against a Portuguese audience, with everything to prove, made this one of the most emotionally charged matches of his early career. Sir Alex Ferguson watched as his young winger showboated on the pitch, prioritizing flash over effectiveness. The team was struggling to maintain possession because Ronaldo was trying to do everything himself, attempting to prove to the world exactly who he thought he was. It wasn't about winning for the team. It was about personal validation. Every skill, every attempt at a trick, every piece of showmanship was an attempt to announce his arrival as a superstar. In the changing room after that match, Ferguson's patience had worn thin. The Scottish manager, known for his psychological edge and legendary intensity, unleashed what would become one of the most memorable dressing room moments of Ronaldo's career. Rio Ferdinand, who was there that day, would later recall the explosion of emotion. Ferguson looked directly at his young winger and demanded, "Who do you think you are? You're coming in here trying to prove to everybody who you think you are. You think you're a superstar." The words cut deep. This was not encouragement. This was not coaching in the traditional sense. This was psychological warfare designed to break through Ronaldo's ego and force him to confront a harsh truth. Ronaldo's response was immediate. He broke down. Tears streamed down his face as the weight of reality crashed down on him. He was not a superstar yet. He had not earned the right to play that way. The other players stood silent, allowing him to process the moment alone. Ferdinand later revealed that this moment, as painful as it was, served a crucial purpose. This manager doesn't care who you are, Ferdinand realized in that moment. Ferguson's ruthlessness was not personal, it was purposeful. He was teaching Ronaldo that talent alone would never be enough. Discipline, tactical understanding, and team play were non-negotiable. What happened after that moment defined everything that followed. Rather than retreating or building resentment, Ronaldo did what he always does. He worked. He improved. He listened. He understood that Ferguson had shown him a path forward, even if that path required him to abandon the showboating and embrace the harder parts of becoming truly elite. The tears in that dressing room became the foundation for a philosophy that would dominate his career. Ferguson had not broken him. He had shaped him. Real Madrid and a relationship that could not survive. Fast forward to 2012 and 2013 at Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo was no longer a young player hungry to prove himself. He was already established as one of the greatest footballers on the planet. He had won trophies at Manchester United. He had broken scoring records. He had achieved everything a footballer could dream of. By this point, Ronaldo had secured his first Ballon d'Or award and had proven to the world that he was capable of competing at the absolute highest level. But he also had a new manager, one who was equally as strong-willed as Ferguson, equally as uncompromising, and equally as unwilling to accept anything less than perfection. Jose Mourinho arrived at Real Madrid with an agenda, and that agenda did not always align with Ronaldo's understanding of his role. During Mourinho's first season at the Bernabeu, the relationship between the two men was manageable. They won trophies together. Ronaldo scored 46 goals in the league alone during Mourinho's second season, an extraordinary return. The partnership was producing results that would normally suggest harmony, but beneath the surface, ideological cracks were forming. Unlike Ferguson, who had nurtured Ronaldo since he was a teenager, Mourinho was coming into a situation where Ronaldo was already established. The dynamics were completely different. Mourinho wanted a ruthlessly efficient attack. Ronaldo wanted creative freedom. Mourinho wanted defensive discipline from his forwards. Ronaldo believed that his attacking brilliance justified less attention to defensive responsibilities. Luka Modric, who joined Real Madrid in 2012, would later become a witness to one of the most striking moments between Mourinho and Ronaldo. The Croatian midfielder watched as tensions that had been simmering for months finally boiled over. After a Copa del Rey match against Valencia in January 2013, Real Madrid had won 2-0. On paper, it was a solid victory, but during the match, Mourinho had been visibly frustrated with Ronaldo. The manager believed Ronaldo was not contributing enough on the defensive side. He had not tracked the opposing fullback. He had not done his job in the team structure. After the final whistle, Mourinho gathered the squad in the dressing room. But then he did something different from what he did with other players. He singled out Ronaldo. In front of everyone, with the entire squad listening, Mourinho began to criticize his superstar. This was not a private conversation. This was a public statement to the entire team that even their greatest player was not above reproach. The criticism stung. Ronaldo, unaccustomed to this kind of public rebuke, felt his composure slip. He stood up. He was no longer the emotional teenager in Ferguson's dressing room. He was a fully formed adult now, a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner who had accomplished things most players could never dream of. He had transformed Manchester United. He had become one of Real Madrid's greatest scorers. And now a manager he had once welcomed to Real Madrid was questioning his commitment and his work ethic in front of his teammates. "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me," Ronaldo shouted back. The confrontation escalated quickly. His voice rose, his emotions boiled over. Other players had to physically step in. Some accounts suggest Ronaldo had to be held back from Mourinho. The dressing room had descended into chaos. What should have been a private coaching moment had become a public meltdown, a display of ego and wounded pride that shook the squad. This time, instead of tears born from humility and self-doubt, Ronaldo's emotions stemmed from something different. It was indignation. It was the clash of two enormous egos who both believed they were right. It was two alpha personalities refusing to bend to the other's will. The incident affected everything that followed. Mourinho began to communicate with Ronaldo through his assistants rather than directly, a cold and calculated move designed to establish dominance. Ronaldo was dropped for the final matches of that season, a stunning public display of discipline directed at his most valuable player. The relationship, which had produced extraordinary results just seasons before, had broken down completely. Mourinho would later tell Spanish television, "Cristiano Ronaldo thinks he knows everything." Mourinho left Real Madrid that summer under controversial circumstances. The two men never truly resolved their differences. Unlike the Manchester United experience, this dressing room moment did not lead to redemption and growth. It marked the beginning of the end. What these moments reveal, what makes these two dressing room incidents so revealing, is the contrast between them. In Manchester, young Ronaldo learned humility through tears. In Madrid, a mature Ronaldo refused to accept criticism from a figure he believed he had outgrown. Ferguson understood that Ronaldo needed breaking down to be built back up. Mourinho believed he was managing a player who simply needed tactical correction. But Ronaldo could not accept that correction from an equal. He needed a father figure, not a peer. These stories humanize one of the greatest athletes ever to play the sport. Beneath the perfect finishing and relentless work ethic is a person who has experienced doubt, frustration, and crushing expectations. The dressing room is where that humanity emerges. For anyone aspiring to greatness, these moments offer a lesson. Growth comes not from those who tell us we are already great, but from those willing to tell us hard truths we do not want to hear. The managers who change careers are rarely the ones who coddle. They are brave enough to challenge, even when that challenge brings tears. Ronaldo's career proves that dressing room arguments and moments of vulnerability are not signs of weakness. They are often the crucible in which greatness is forged.